Hello, my favorite Math 7 Plus students. How's it going? It is Miss Kearney here with your next episode of the Kearney Math Show. Today we are featuring on our math show something called slope, and more specifically, the slope of four types of lines. And today we're going to talk about what those lines look like and how you could immediately look at a line and tell what kind of slope it has. So, just to get you guys pumped up, and you might ask yourself, what in the water are we going to be doing today? Here's a little bit of a sneak peek.
Let's go!
All right, so that's what we're going to be doing. We're going to be graphing. So just to get us started, just take just a minute and go ahead and write at the top of your mini lesson. This is entry number 2, okay? So entry number 2. And I want to make sure. Perfect. There we go. Okay, so this is entry number 2, and take just a moment and read your learning goal. Perfect. So you are going to be able to, by the end of today, determine what are the 4 types of slopes and what do those look like. So today I'm going to try something a little different. Instead of me writing on the board, I'm going to just tap on the board and some words are going to appear. Some expectation is whatever you see appear on the board, if you will write down on your paper. Okay, so the graph of linear equations will form a line that travels one of the following ways. One of the first ways, and we've kind of talked about this a little bit, is that you might see something that has a positive slope. And a positive slope is a line, if a line has a positive slope, that means it increases from left to right. So if you're reading the graph from left to right, that line is increasing, okay? The next type of slope that you might see is something called a negative slope, okay? And if you're looking at a graph and you're reading it left to right, that would be a line that's actually decreasing from left to right. And I know a lot of you can kind of get confused because typically lines have arrows. So you're trying to figure out, well, how do we know if it's increasing or decreasing? Because one side's pointing up, one side's pointing down. The key words here is from left to right. So for example, the first one from left to right is positive because it's increasing. A negative slope would be one that from left to right would be decreasing, okay? So those are 2 types of slope. The next type of slope is a slope that is basically flat. That is called a zero slope. A zero slope looks like a flat horizontal line. So there is zero slope. So if you're skiing and there is zero slope, you are standing still because you're just on flat ground, horizontal line. Okay, and that would look similar to this. All right, our next type of slope is something called undefined. Undefined slope is actually a slope that is a vertical slope. It's straight up and down. There's actually, it's impossible for you to figure out the slope. So if you get a graph of a line that's straight up and down, you actually can't figure out the slope because it is undefined. Undefined. Okay? So those are our 4 types of slope. Positive, which is increasing from left to right. Negative, which is decreasing left to right. Zero, which is a horizontal line. And undefined slope, which is a vertical line. Okay? So you keep hearing me say the word slope. Well, guys, I got to break it to you. It sounds like it's something super fancy, but here's something really important that I want you guys to understand. Slope is actually us just taking it to the next level of math, but really slope is the same thing that we've been working with. Slope is the constant of proportionality. Okay? So we have slope, which is the same thing as the constant of proportionality. And which also is the same thing as the unit rate. So actually I have that written up here. There we go. You see that it starred. Constant proportionality is the same thing as the unit rate, which is the same thing as slope. Okay, so basically we said constant proportionality is a constant rate of change. That's what slope is. Slope is telling us how is the line changing. And all the lines we're going to look at are straight lines. That's called linear. They're linear, and the reason why they're linear is they have a slope, which means that there's a constant rate of change. It's changing at a constant speed. So here we go. So let's look at how to look at a graph or a line and be able to tell what the slope is. So here are your directions. You're going to have 8 problems, and for all these 8 problems, you have 2 points. Okay, because all it takes to make a line is 2 points. So we're gonna plot 2 points and we're gonna connect those to make our line. And after you connect them, what I'm wanting you to do is I'm wanting you to find the slope. And how you find the slope is you're gonna find the rise and the run between the points, and then you're gonna write it as a ratio of rise over run. Okay, because slope is essentially the same thing as a ratio comparing the rise to the run. Okay, we're wanting to know what is the slope, how steep is it, and how you determine how steep a line is you want to compare how far does it rise up compared to how far does it run. Okay, so let me do number 1. So number 1, we're going to plot those 2 points. So the first point is at -1, +1. So -1 is my x, +1 is my y. So I always need to do my x first. So -1, and then I'm going to go up to +1 and plot my first point. Okay, my next one's 4, 3, again, x, y, so I'm going to go over to 4, and then up to 3, and plot my second point. And really, that's all you need to plot these, to draw these lines, is you just need 2 points, okay? And then I can connect those, and the printing is not very good at drawing a straight line, but I'm going to do the best that I can. There we go. It's going to look something like that, okay? So after we have plotted my 2 points and we've drawn our line, we want to find the slope. And like we said, slope is the ratio of comparing the rise over the run, okay? So what we want to do is we want to figure out how far does it take to get from this point to that point on the line, okay? So we're going to start right here at this point, and we're going to figure out how far did I have to rise up to get on the same level as that other dot. So you're going to rise up 1, 2. So my rise, and since I'm going up, that's +2. And now I'm going to need to go to the right to get to my line. So I'm going to go over 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And since I'm going to the right, that's my positive direction. So the slope of my line is 2 fifths. That means for every 2 units that I go up, I'm going to go over 5. And really, technically, guys, you could keep going. If you want to do that again, we could start here and we could go up 2, 1, 2, and then over 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and I would land on my next point on the graph. Okay? So rise 2, run 5. Okay? So let's do another one together just to kind of get the hang. And if you notice, this line that we just graphed, it is increasing from left to right. So therefore, it should have a positive slope, which is what we got, a positive slope. Okay, perfect. Okay, let's do one more together. We have 2 points, -1, +5. So x, y, so we're going to go over -1 and then up 5, put my first point. My next one is at +2, 2, my next point. And then I just want to connect those 2 dots to create my line. Okay, and we're asked to find the slope. And just to remind you, slope is the ratio of comparing the rise to the run. We want to figure out how is this line changing, okay? Comparing its rise to its run. And automatically, if you look at this graph, what kind of slope do you think it is? Just looking at it, looking from left to right, what do you notice is happening? That's right, it's decreasing from left to right. So we're more than likely going to get maybe, since it's decreasing, I go back up to the top of my notes, decreasing left to right, I'm probably going to have a negative slope, but we'll see. Okay, so here we go. Pick one of the points we could start at this one down here. And if you notice, we're going to do our rise. So we're going to go up. 1, 2, 3. And since I'm going up, that's positive 3. And now I'm going to run. But you notice to get to my line, I've got to go to the left. So that means I'm going to go in the negative direction. And I'm going to go over 1, 2, 3 in the negative direction because I'm going to the left. Remember, left is negative, right is positive, up is positive, down is negative. So I'm going to the left 3, so that would be negative 3. And if I simplify that, that would simplify to a negative 1 slope. Okay? Or if you wanted to write it as like 1 over negative 1, that's fine too. Okay? So let's just check. That means we could go up 1 we go up 1 over 1, up 1 over 1, up 1 over 1. That's right. Perfect. Okay, so guys, I know that you might still have some questions, and I'm going to be happy to answer them when you come to my station. But for now, what I'm wanting to see is that you with a partner go through 2 through 8 and plot those 2 points that each question's given, draw your line, and find the ratio of comparing the rise to the run, which we call the slope, okay? And after you finish 1 through 8, then you're going to have some follow-up questions, okay? And those follow-up questions continue on the back. And I hope that you guys will start drawing some conclusions and figuring out how could I look at a graph and determine what kind of slope it has based on those, okay? And I will be happy to answer any questions when you come to my station, or you can always rewatch the video. So, good luck, guys. Make me proud. Do your best. Peace out, Rainbow Trout. Love you, mean it. Gonna leave you with this one. Trying to get water equal MX plus B to make graphing easy. That's right. You're about to make graphing easy. Good luck, guys. Love you, mean it. XOXO.